All right, I'm gonna give you guys some sound. Hello, my darlings. So I'm gonna share something with you. It's beautiful. Oh my God. I love nature. I love nature. So I want to share something with you that I discovered today. It is in Brazil. It is called Lencois Maranhenses. And it is in the dry season, it's a desert, but then when the rains come, the waters stay in many, many, many different pockets. And it doesn't sink into the ground because underneath the water is rock. Okay. So it only sinks down but so much. And then the rest is trapped in there. Okay. So let's read about it. It looks like a desert, but it has thousands of lakes. Lençóis Maranhenses sits at the intersection of three biomes, a rare overlap that supercharges biodiversity. Across 350 square miles of dunes, that's a lot, the rainy season brings thousands of crystal blue lagoons into view, many big enough to swim in. What makes this surreal environment possible, and why, even after 2 million years in existence, does it still feel so mysterious? Untold Earth explores the seeming impossibilities behind our planet's strangest, most unique natural wonders. From fragile, untouched ecosystems to familiar but unexplained occurrences in our own backyard, this series changes insight into natural phenomena through the voices that know them best. So obviously, it's going to be in the description is going to be in the video. I mean, will be in the description. There's fish in there too, which is very weird. Cause how does that happen? When it rains, there's no fish coming down. It's kind of weird. It's really weird. So I don't know. It's just that's weird. I don't get it. However, there have been instances where fish and frogs have rained down. And before you go, okay, somebody call an ambulance. Tranquility's lost every bit of her mind. Okay. There have been circumstances where there's been severe winds that will swoop down, and you have aggressive weather. It'll swoop down and it'll pick up everything. So the fish, the frogs, and whatever, and they will come slamming back down into the water. Um, so it's a very strange phenomenon. Okay. There's also been instances, and this is a little off track right now, but there's also been instances of someone breaking into someone's car to steal the car, return the car after they've done all the repairs on it. Do y'all need the key? Because you don't have to break in. I'll give you the key. Okay, to my car is what I'll do. Uh, there's instances where animals have been arrested. There's a lot of strange things that have happened on our wonderful planet. I don't know if the book is in existence anymore, but the name of the book is called The Book of Lists. 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 And it's a fascinating read. Like I said, I'm not sure if you could get it, but it's very things that'll make you go, "What?" All right. So anyway, back to this beautiful place. It's in Brazil. And my God, is it beautiful or what? Now, here's the thing. People who travel to this place, they do not go by maps. They cannot go by maps, and I will tell you why. The reason why is because the landscape is forever changing. The landscape is forever changing. It never remains the same. The sand is very, very soft, and with the winds, the landscape changes and the water, the sand comes down the hills, the dunes and whatnot, and it's always changing how the landscape appears. So people who travel there do not go by maps. Um, they explain how they do it in the video. I can't remember. But you can't go by a map because, again, the landscape is forever changing. The water is gorgeous. It's beautiful. But when they said there's fish, I'm going, huh? Where did the fish come from? Interesting. Very interesting. But the beauty is just out of this world. It's just, wow. I mean, there are so many places in the world that just defy logic, defy reason. They do not follow the ordinary rules of, quotation marks, rules of gravity and that kind of thing. So it's just interesting. And I did promote it on YouTube. You share it and create a post featuring the video that you really like. And I did do that. But I'm also going to make it easier for you and put it in the description. Let's see something else here. 2, 3. You want to go back there? No, you don't. All right. So, yeah, I just wanted to share this beauty with you. It's just unbelievable. I never seen this before. There is a park I want to say it's in New Mexico. I have to do something with this. Hold on. Just bear with me. Just close your eyes and imagine that you are at this wonderful place. Okay, this. Oh, yeah, here, this is what I want. Okay, bring it down here. There's also a very special place that's in New Mexico. And I'm going to look for it so I can share it with you. Hold on. I'm having issues. But New Mexico. Okay, so the name of the park that is in New Mexico, which is absolutely stunningly beautiful also, it is a gorgeous national park that has the most beautiful sand dunes you've ever seen. Wow and freaking wow. And I'm trying to research it if it wants to come up. The sand dunes are stunning. Oh my God. Wow. So let's learn about that. Rising from the heart of the Tularosa Basin is one of the world's great natural wonders, the glistening white sands of New Mexico. They shift and settle over the Chihuahuan Desert, covering 275 square miles, the largest gypsum dune field in the world. White Sands National Park preserves more than half of this oasis, its shallow water supply, and the plants and animals that live there. Okay. It's hard to imagine the Tularosa Basin without white sands. The sand covers approximately 275 square miles, but this is the result of a perfectly balanced ecosystem. We need just the right amount of rain, sun, groundwater, and wind. So what happens if any part of this system is disrupted? Salt cedars can drink up to 200 gallons of water a day and will outcompete the native species. Additionally, if temperatures continue to increase and speed the rate of evaporation, the prevailing northeasterly winds that shape the dunes today could blow them all away. And I hope that doesn't happen because it's just so pretty there. I've not been there, but I discovered it. Oh, I'm not sure when it was. Maybe last year or something. Plants play a critical role in the ecosystems of White Sands National Park, stabilizing the leading edges of the dunes and providing both water and shelter for wildlife, but it isn't easy eking out a living here in this harsh landscape. Paleontology. Thousands of years ago, giant animals roamed the shores of an ancient lake that covered what is now White Sands National Park. Columbian mammoths, giant sloths, and dire wolves stepped into the muddy banks of Lake Otero, leaving behind their footprints. Today, evidence of the path they walked is preserved in the sediments of Alkali Flat. Prints made of gypsum crystals, dolomite, and sand are visible at the surface, and some track on for 2 miles. Come here for a second. Come here. To the untrained eye, White Sands National Park can appear as a stark and desolate place, but in reality, the park is composed of complex, interconnected ecosystems. Even the soil is teeming with life. Tiny organisms called cyanobacterium layer themselves into a woven mat that forms the top surface of the soil in the areas between the dunes. Step lightly and keep your eyes open. You never know what you might see. Geology. One of the most outstanding features of White Sands National Park is its unique geology. Without it, the White Sands of New Mexico would not be here. White Sands National Park has unusually harsh environmental conditions even for the desert, but that hasn't stopped animal species from adapting, surviving, and even thriving here. If you look closely, you can see their tracks in the sand to remind yourself of their presence. And while it may be hard to imagine, there are over 800 species of animals that call White Sands their home. So if you do research of White Sands National Park, you'll see it and you'll get to read about it and you'll see it with your own eyes and oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, I don't know if I told you, did I tell you I have a floater in my eye? Maybe I didn't get to tell you. Okay, so what had happened was I thought I told you guys, but I guess I didn't. I'm not sure. I don't think I did tell you. Yesterday I was bebopping around doing my thing and I was outside and I always wear my hat, protects your face from the sun and my eyes are sensitive and that kind of thing. Anyway, so I got my hat on and I looked towards the right, upward to the right, and I see a black dot and I see what looks to be a spider's web. And I'm trying to wipe it away. And I think I might have walked into something or I somehow got it on my hat. And I'm just trying to wipe away. And there's nothing to wipe away because it's inside my eye. It's a huge floater. Huge floater. Now, we have floaters all the time. If you stare really, just kind of focus on something and stare, you will see them. Little squiggles. They're small, they're really, really, really tiny, and they usually don't impact your vision. So you see them, you acknowledge, and you move on. It doesn't interfere with your life. However, this one scared me because it was huge. And this happened after, I didn't realize till afterwards that something might have shaken loose in my eye when the accident occurred because she hit so hard. She hit my vehicle so hard. So the huge one has disappeared, and now I've got floaters still floating around in my eye. It does not hurt or anything like that. They said that if I'm able to get there, they will squeeze me into the schedule. There's no ignoring these. They're bouncing all over my eye because you have a fluid inside your eye and it's floating in there. So every time you move your eye, it's floating everywhere. Okay. Um, I'm not sure what the treatment is. I know they can use lasers to break them up, and they're basically fibers made of collagen that are located inside your eye. And they break off, which sounds painful, but it's not unless there's something terribly wrong. However, they did advise me I have an appointment for Friday if I can make it that long, unless it gets weirder and weirder, then I'll see them before then. But uh it there's no ignoring them. They're bouncing all over the place. There's It's the weirdest thing ever. It really is. So she advised me that if you see a bright flash of light, meaning like a flashlight, that's an emergency. If you see something that looks like a curtain, she says, like you're watching a stage and they bring the curtain down, but the curtain doesn't come back up inside your eye, then that's urgent also. Obviously, if it goes dark, obviously that's emergency too. And also, what else? She said, if you see peppering, like if you put pepper on mashed potatoes, for example, if you see a whole bunch of little spots everywhere, that is also urgent. Thankfully, I haven't seen any of those. She said, do not do anything aggressive, which I don't anyway. Like, don't jump around, don't lift anything, don't hang upside down, which I don't do that anyway. Um, don't lift anything heavy, don't jog, or don't do anything that could cause more issues. It's very, very, very strange. I prefer the ones that you can see them if you struggle to see them, but otherwise you don't. I kind of prefer those. I prefer none, really. I mean, if I have a choice, I'd rather have none. But this inevitable bouncing around, it's just, and the one I saw yesterday was just so big that it just scared me because I've never in my life seen one that big before. So I'm keeping a close eye on my symptoms, and if anything gets really, really weird, then, you know, I will have to go in and be seen before my appointment Friday. It is slightly reduced when I'm outside and I have my sunglasses on. It kind of reduces it. I still can see it bouncing around, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday, but it's still frightening. And it didn't really occur to me till after the fact. It didn't occur to me that impact, such an aggressive impact, the car hitting mine so hard, would impact my eye. But it's the only thing that jostled me like that physically. So I know that there's a correlation between the two. Again, when you see those floaters in your eyes, those are completely normal, 100% normal. But when they get big and they cause the type of symptomology that I described to you, then that's an urgent situation, because if it goes dark or looks like a curtain came down or bright light like a flashlight, all of a sudden you see a flash of light, those are urgent situations that need medical attention now, because you do not want to be in a situation where you have a retinal detachment, because that will require additional medical intervention. So that's what's going on with me now. Yay. I'm just so excited. Not exactly. And I will keep you posted on how this gets resolved. On one hand, it's scary because it's your eye, right? And treatment is scary on your eye. You don't want something to go wrong. But then you get to the point where you're so it's starting to drive you crazy. Not literally crazy, but it's driving you nuts because you can't avoid seeing it, you know? And like I said, everybody has them and they're all normal, but when it gets to the point where they change size or you can see them obviously, then I mean, there's no way you can't see it as long as your eyes open. That's an issue, right? And then, like I said, those other situations are um, a sign that there's something urgent going on. Anyway, I will keep you all posted. Much love, and I'll talk to you fine folks later. Bye.